So one of the things that's pretty fun about tournament season is we get to take these models that are used in the tournament and add them to the library of CAD challenges over here at TooTallToby.com. If you sort these by newest, you can see that this one here was added just about a week ago, and you can see here that this one has had 23 successful solvers using a variety of different CAD systems, and you can see here that it has an average solve time of 7 minutes and 9 seconds. Think you can solve it faster using your CAD system? Well, visit us at TooTallToby.com to find out. You can watch the tournament on one screen, and you can look at the drawing on the second screen. And of course, we really appreciate all the support from everybody in the chat. We see Pedro in the chat is saying, GG, Ricardo. We see Hassan says, you got this one, Mehtab. So awesome to see everybody in the chat rooting for these runners. But the time has come for the next challenge. Here we go, guys. This next CAD vs. CAD battle in our finals of the 2026 Summer Open between Ricardo Jean, our number 3 seed, 3-time tournament champion from Brazil, going up against Mehtab, 2-time tournament champion from Bangladesh. This CAD vs. CAD battle begins in 3, 2, 1. Go! What is the mass of this multi-body part or assembly? In XXX.X grams, the tolerance is plus or minus 0.1 grams. And wow, we got a doozy here for these guys. So this is going to be a good challenge from both of our runners. Let's see how they approach it. So we've got Ricardo on the left running SolidWorks. We've got Mehtab on the right running SolidWorks. And wow, what a model. This is a tier 7 challenge. So a lot of features are going to go into this. And again, you got to think about this in terms of discretizing the model. Where do we begin? What does our first extrusion look like? Looks like both of them are sketching up the 138 by 78 rectangle. Looks like both of them are getting in there and adding fillets to that rectangle. And let's just see who turns this into a solid first. Looks like it's going to be, let's see here, very close.
Very, very close.
Looks like it's probably going to be Ricardo. First blood, but wow, Mehtab right behind him.
Yes.
Pushing out that model, getting that solid geometry in place. Wow. Guys, this is interesting.
Yes. Kind of looks like the exact same ratio for a can of Spam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it could be a can of Spam. You're
Yes.
right. This is really interesting. So both of our runners doing almost the exact same thing at almost the exact same time. Very, very cool to see here. Looks like actually, maybe I misspoke there. Maybe I spoke a little too fast. It looks like actually Ricardo opting to maybe get in and take care of the internal geometry, where Mehtab here is taking care of more of the external geometry, that extra kind of lip there. You can see in the 2D drawing, you've got that lip on the top, you've got that lip on the bottom, but then there's an additional kind of area on the bottom of this part as well. This is like one of those baskets you might see going into the bathroom. Sometimes we see these when we're camping. People have these kind of waterproof baskets with them. Wow, so really interesting. So Ricardo Jean on the left looks like he's opting to use offset entities and then dropping in some driven dimensions to make sure that he's got that geometry the correct size. So I like that. That's a cool approach there.
Yeah.
And we see Mehtab on the right creating that upper shape. Both of our runners creating that upper shape and using the convert entities function to get that upper shape in place. But Mehtab looks like he's pulling ahead. He's got that upper shape in place. He thought about, maintaining the internal geometry when he created that feature, where Ricardo had to kind of take a step back and create it. So now I think we're going to see them kind of deviating. I think that first feature is probably the most intuitive one to get in place first, but now we may end up seeing them deviating with the game plan from one screen to the other. So we see Mehtab on the right getting up there and creating that kind of upper geometry where the handle is going to need to mount. So we do try to teach people how to model in 3D CAD by modeling real world parts. It's like the core of our philosophy. Learn by doing, learn how to model your own parts by modeling real world parts and kind of addressing the challenges you run into. And this is a perfect example of that. When you're creating a basket like this, you're going to put a handle through this thing. It needs to have a place that it's going to mount. And so Mehtab getting in there and creating that area where the handle is going to mount and doing so quite quickly. Very tight tolerance on this model as well, Connor, plus or minus 0.1 grams. So not much room for people to mess up or forget a feature or anything like that. You really got to be sharp and make sure you're not missing anything.
Yeah.
Also, another one of these kind of nasty drawings where the customer has given us the inside bend radius, really not making it easy if you're a CAD engineer, if you're a design engineer. But Mehtab looks like he's going to be taking an approach that we've seen many times in this tournament, and one that I respect and appreciate, creating that layout geometry to aid with the creation of these dimensions. If you're newer to the world of 3D CAD, take note. This is a really, really valuable workflow here, it's not really a workaround. It's just a technique that you can use when the customer gives you geometry that's problematic. But oh no, look at this. It looks like SolidWorks in what is so often the SolidWorks way. Looks like the SolidWorks program has defined geometry unexpectedly on Mehtab's screen and left him with a little bit of an over-defined error there. It looks like he got around it pretty quick, but man, I hate it when that happens, when something shouldn't be defined and it is.
Yeah.
I definitely had that happen a few times while I was auditing this thing. But look at Mehtab getting through that geometry, no sweat. He took a little bit of a hiccup there and got through it, no sweat. And look at him getting in there and creating the geometry for that handle. Wow. Very nice. Very nice. Very impressive.
Yeah, I was going to comment on the height of the handle looking a little bit too large on Mehtab's, but he cleaned that up right away.
Sure, yeah.
So...
yeah, and these things are designed so that handle can kind of swing down and swing over the side, So you could maybe use a feature like insert features move body and then rotate that handle down if you wanted to do a check to make sure that it is in fact the correct height if you were actually manufacturing this thing. And now we see Mehtab creating a sketch of a rectangle here at 11 by 11, and it looks like he's opting not to do it with a sketch pattern. So
a little unsurprising.
Yeah, a little unsurprising. So let's see how he does. It looks like he's using a linear feature pattern here, creating the geometry for those notch outs. You can see on the drawing, those notch outs have a uniform spacing in both directions. And so Mehtab looks like he's going to be opting to do this as a linear pattern. Of course, one of the questions we often get in support is there a good way in SolidWorks to pattern it in both directions and then pattern it up in the other direction as well? And generally speaking, what Mehtab is doing here is what I think you have to do in SolidWorks. You have to do that, linear pattern and then do a second linear pattern. Mehtab was ready for it. Looked like he planned for it and looked like he had no problem constructing that.
Yeah.
And now we see Ricardo Jean on the left opting to create this with a linear sketch pattern, kind of maybe trolling Mehtab a little bit there.
Yeah.
Guys, as always, please let us know in the chat if anything sounds too loud, too quiet, if we sound good here, if the audio sounds good, if the music sounds good, if everything sounds good. We appreciate that feedback.
Looks like Ricardo might also be trolling us because he's not doing the double linear pattern, or at least it doesn't look like it from my angle.
Yeah,
Looks
interesting. Like Ricardo getting in here, creating this geometry, adding in the location there to the center. Looks like he's adding the location from the bottom now. And really getting this thing kind of locked down proper, which is, I appreciate it's important.
Yeah.
There we go. Ooh, SolidWorks doing it. This is why Mehtab and I don't like linear pattern, because linear pattern. Oh, Mehtab implementing an Ivan exploit there. Minor one, but definitely there.
Yes.
Definitely there. And Mehtab also recognizing that this part does have an additional feature on it that could have easily been overlooked. We see Mehtab now going through and assigning the material to the handle, going through and assigning the material to the main bucket. And I think we're going to see an answer coming in here. We're going to watch the chat. And Mehtab comes in with his answer, 156.7 grams. And that is correct.
Hey.
Wow, guys. We all win. Put a 1 in the chat for Mehtab. We get to take this thing to a third battle. Let's go. That's what I like to see. Wow, wow, wow. What a battle there. And Mehtab really had that thing planned out and really just kind of went through coast to coast. Really didn't make any mistakes that I saw. And really was just kind of able to get that thing all defined, all modeled up there, followed the drawing. Wow, sub 8 minutes.
That was cool.
Finishing that thing, really, really impressive. The correct answer is 156.7 grams, plus or minus 0.1 grams. And that point is going to go to Mehtab.
Very
wow.
Nice.
Wow. 7 minutes, 50 seconds would have taken me much longer. Ivan exploit for the win. We saw people talking about the Ivan exploit earlier. Yeah, that was kind of interesting because Mehtab did the pattern of the pattern. He didn't really have the option to skip instances. And I was wondering how he was going to handle that. And I think he really did it well, you know, solving that thing and getting it out of there. One note that I'll just make here for all of you at home that are watching, you can, in a spot like that, you can definitely consider doing that with a fill pattern. That would be a great spot to do a fill pattern. You can just draw one of those cut extrudes and then fill pattern. So be sure to practice that as well. Be sure to practice your fill patterns when spots like this come.